Hello. This is a podcast about gossip, dirty laundry, chitter-chatter and backfence prittle-prattle. In each episode Joe Wilkinson, David Earl and Poppy the postwoman invite you lot, the lovely listeners, to send in any juicy gossip you might have heard over the years. At the end of each episode they will choose their favorite bit of gossip and help spread it around the world. So, without further ado, welcome to Greasy Spooners. No, ghostly monkeys. No, gassy mummers. No, Gossipmongers. Yes, Gossipmongers. Yes, Gossipmongers. Yes. Gossip number 1.
This is from Anonymous. This is about a man called Steve who developed quite a fetish with an old girlfriend. He used to put corned beef hash inside her apple catcher knickers.
What?
What's the apple catcher knickers?
Big knickers.
Oh, right, I was saying, okay. She would wear them for the whole day. And then he would...
What, the corned beef in there?
Yeah, in the apple catcher knickers. And then he would then eat it after a sweaty day at the soap factory.
God, confusing message.
The irony of working in a soap factory.
He would give her a good seeing to after it.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
Don't blame the bloke.
Thanks for doing that.
He named the fetish. This is in quotes, Grandad's Pudding.
Great stuff.
Yeah, please see Urban Dictionary for further reading. So,
Okay.
And then love you all.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Who's that from?
Anonymous.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm not sure where to put this corned beef. Shall I put it on the side? Shall I put it in the fridge? Or shall I slide it inside my girlfriend's pants and then have it for dinner tonight? Yes. That's what I will do, I think. G to the R to the A to the N to the D to the A to the D to the S to the pudding. Gossip number 2.
Right, this is from Liam. Hi, folks. In the village I grew up in, there was a man who used to amble around on a seemingly daily basis, usually with a basic Safeway carrier bag. Free them, but for the purpose of clarity, the 5p kind, not the 10p. I never spoke to anyone who actually knew him, though everyone recognised him. The reason for this was that his neck was permanently bent. At a 33-degree angle. Brackets, please note, this is an approximation. I don't believe anyone ever used their protractor to conduct an official measurement. Although never verified with my own eyes, this gossip is pretty much factual, based purely on its simplicity. All of the photos, pictures and mirrors on his walls were also at a 33-degree angle. Or 142 degrees, depending on how you work it out, all the best, Liam.
Bent neck lad.
Man, bent neck man.
Bent neck man, sorry.
Say it after me. Bent neck man. Bent neck man. Keep it simple. Keep it basic. Bent neck man. A man with a neck that is bent. Gossip number 3.
A bric-a-brac shop owner in his late 50s, early 60s used to live in my area. Most mornings I would see him having his bric-a-brac wares and findings carted around on a trolley in the middle of the road by a local young lad who he would often yell at because he was dawdling. The shop owner in question insisted on calling everyone Blue.
Blue.
Male, female, dog, child, cat. Didn't matter. He would always call you Blue.
Blue.
E.g., hello, Blue. How you doing, Blue? Weather's shit, isn't it, Blue?
Blue,
Because of this, we all called him Blue in return.
Blue,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Rumour has it that Blue lived his formative years as a clown, providing local entertainment at kids' parties and family gatherings, but was subsequently forced to give up his profession after the police found a massive fuck-off knife in one of his pockets in his clown trousers.
I was waiting for something.
Because they do have big pockets, don't they? Sinister but funny.
God.
Yeah.
hello kids. My name is Bonzo the Clown and I carry a whacking great hunting knife around in my spotty trousers. You got a problem with that? Kiddo? Blue.
Hunting knife.
Blue.
Hunting knife.
Blue.
Hunting knife. In his spotty trousers.
Gossip number 4.
Hello. I work with a 56-year-old tiny pear-shaped bald gentleman.
Wish I did.
What a sentence at the beginning.
Start strong.
Who lives at home with his mum. He also lives with his brother, who up until 3 years ago he shared a room with. Okay. The rumour around the office is that the mum is actually dead, and that
What?
and that he and his brother take turns to dress up as his mum and take each other out on day trips.
Treat the other one to a day out dressed as their mum. Whose turn is it?
On a Monday on a Monday morning, his eyes are a faded shade of eyeshadow. To compound this, he also goes to Ann Summers twice a year to buy his sister underwear for her birthday and Christmas. It continues to get more complicated as he also steals cats from around his estate in Manchester. He then turns these cats into indoor cats and they eventually die.
God, he's a complex gentleman, is the pear man.
What's going on? He collects the urns in his wardrobe. It is also rumoured that he had an inappropriate relationship with these cats. Cheers, Mike.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you,
Chucked a
Mike.
bit of bestiality in there. For
Yeah,
good measure.
just a little.
It's your turn to be mummy. No, it's your turn to be mummy. No, it's your turn to be mummy. I was mummy last week. I think you will find that I was mummy last week. No, I was mummy. It's your turn to be mummy. Gossip number 5.
This is from Tom. A lad I knew in the year above me at school took a bad dose of ketamine and was convinced he was a vampire for months.
For months.
He wouldn't leave the house. I remember seeing him about 6 months later in the passenger seat of his mum's car, crying. She drove past the off licence.
What a weird bunch of detail.
The boy who couldn't handle being a vampire. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, sonny. Gossipmongers. Yes. Yes. Gossip number 6.
This is from Basil Bottler. Hi, Poppy.
Just
Okay.
You?
Fair enough.
Popular.
Here's some gossip. In the town where I went to school, there was a big old house, and Often, as I walked past, I'd see the face of a boy looking out of an upstairs window.
Here we go.
He looked about the same age as me and my schoolmates, but no one knew who he was, and he didn't go to any of the local schools. Then one day there was a fire at the house. The occupants were rescued by a fire brigade, and soon after this, the gossip began. It was said that when the fire brigade were inside the house, they discovered one of the bedrooms resembled a giant bird cage.
Birdboy.
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 Okay. There were bars on the window, and instead of a wooden door, there was one made of metal, like a prison cell.
God.
Throughout the room, there were lots of round mirrors, some with little bells attached. Birdboy. Some with little bells attached, and there were several perches strong enough for a teenager to sit on.
Sounds really nice. Shame it burnt down.
The room lacked any other furniture, and on the floor was a large shallow tray filled with sand and a sprinkling of shit and piss. It seemed the boy whose face we'd seen at the window had been treated as a bird. Yeah, I reckon it sounds like that, mate.
Don't think we needed that summary, to be honest with you.
But thanks all the same.
Do explain, Basil.
And spent his life imprisoned in a cage. My mates and I often wonder what became of him. We named him Budgie.
Okay.
That's from Basil Bottler. That's
Yeah.
Budgie or Birdboy.
Birdboy.
That's good, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it?
That's a
good,
great one.
yeah.
Basil, lovely.
Birdboy.
The bird boy grew up to be a bird man. Just a regular looking guy who eats way too much seed for my liking. Seed, baby. Seed, baby.
Gossip number 6.
This is a long-running, juicy piece of gossip about my brother, George. Jorge, pronounced George. Don't ask. My younger brother, George, is a twin with my younger brother. Again, don't ask. Don't ask what? Stop saying don't ask. When we were little, he was always bigger than George, so he used to play with me. I'm 2 years older. We'd play PlayStation in my bedroom together and exclude George because he was physically smaller than us, plus most games were 2 players. We were never sure exactly what George got up to while we did this. One hot summer holiday afternoon, he and I were sat inside with the curtains closed playing PlayStation. He got up to go to the loo while it was loading. Upon approach of the loo, he noticed that the door was ajar. He slowly and quietly opened the door further, where we saw George sat half on the seat, his shorts round his ankles and his arse slightly up in the air. It became immediately clear that George was fingering his own arse.
George.
George.
I'll have you know.
There's a bit of Dutch about him, isn't there? George was fingering his own arse. If I'm not going to play PlayStation, I've got to do something. He was paralysed with a mixture of shock and excitement. But before he could do anything, George's body turned, his hands rose from beneath his arse, and he smelt his finger.
Oh, I've hit a new low.
Fucking
really
hell.
is, isn't it?
This was 25 years ago. George is regularly called Poo Finger to this day.
Okay.
And that is from... So if you're wondering, it's George.
Oh, God.
And if you're not sure if it's him, he's got a twin brother called... Don't ask.
Definitely a new low, I think.
I'll call that...
Rock bottom.
I think I'll call it
George.
George. Morning, George. It's worse than Poo Finger.
poo finger. Am I really saying poo finger between two rumours? Had it already come to this? Isn't life depressing? Isn't life depressing? Depressing. Gossip number 7, Celebrity, Brett Goldstein.
Hi Brian and Poppy and Joe. There's a guy at my school who we won't name. The rumour was that there was well, all of us knew. I mean, I knew it in the same way that, you know, Richard Gere put a hamster in his bum. We knew that this guy liked it when girls did poos in his mouth. And the story was that, yeah, a girl came around his parents' house one night after school and he lay on the floor under a glass table, and then she squatted and did a poo on it, and he loved that. Anyway, this was the rumour, and I just accepted it's true, and I'm sure it is true or not, who knows. But anyway, years later, a friend of mine got engaged, a girl got engaged, and she said, "You know my fiance?" And I said, "Who is it?" And she said the name of the guy from school, and I was like, oh boy, that's gonna be a messy honeymoon.
Gossip number 8.
This gossip on an old neighbour of mine who had a Star Wars themed sex loft. There was little evidence to support the fact much sex happened up there or anything sexually related, but we knew she had a lot of Star Wars collectibles and was clearly a big fan of the movies. The little information that this was a sex loft was that another neighbour had spotted her taking a life-size Jar Jar Binks sex doll out of the boot of her car and into her house in the early hours of Monday morning. The doll had an erect penis.
Oh, God, I'm tired.
You become numb, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm numb to it.
Yeah.
I don't. Word had spread quickly around the estate, and the story escalated very quickly and had almost turned into a game of Chinese whispers with multiple accounts of the same story. All different. Some saying she fucks Ewoks. Some say she fucks Ewoks up there.
Up what? Up her head?
Up there.
Up there? What head?
Up there in the loft.
Oh.
Others saying...
She fucks Ewoks. Yeah.
She fucks Ewoks.
In the loft.
Some saying she dresses up as an inflatable Jabba the Hutt costume and gave head to the Jar Jar Binks doll. Fucking hell.
God.
Poor woman.
Shagging Ewoks in the loft.
Can you really buy a Jar Jar Binks doll with an erection?
And cut.
That's a really great question, Joe. Can you really buy a Jar Jar Binks doll with an erection? I would have thought so. Gossip number 9.
In the mid-90s, there was a bloke who used to bum around town.
Bum or bomb?
Bum.
Right.
Bum
It's
around.
normally bum in this show.
Is it bum or bomb?
It's bum.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Bum around town, yeah. Oh. Bloke used to bum around town in a dark brown Mini Cooper. His name was Terry Fuckwit. Rumours about old Terry were rampant. The one that sticks in my mind is Terry would hang around local park toilets and wait until someone who had a dog needed a piss, leaving the dog tied up outside. Terry would take the dog up into a top field and shag it. Then take the dog back to its owner and ask for a reward for finding their dog.
Have a little sausage.
Who he told the owner had
Double bubble.
I like this last bit. Terry used to brag about it, saying it was easy money.
Well, you pulled that out of the bag. Thought that was going to be a Comedy Garden dog bumming story. Absolutely not.
Steal dog. Bum dog. Return dog. Lie about having found the dog. Easy friggin' money, dude. Gossip number 10.
This is from Tom Jennison. So, old Ken down my dad's allotment has been caught pissing on other people's onion beds. He's been temporarily suspended from the allotment until further discussion at the parish council meeting. 100% true.
Okay.
100% true.
Yeah.
100%.
What's the
Why would you
decision?
do that? Why would you piss on someone's onion bed?
It changes
Not
the
a
acidity.
question for you, Joe.
Oh.
A question for Poppy.
I've got the correct answer, but you have a go. See how you get on.
Hatred.
Yeah, that'll do.
Pure hatred.
Joe?
The correct answer is it changes the acidity of the soil, making it harder for a root crop to grow.
Wow. You looked that up.
No, I'm very, very intelligent.
Still,
And I
still
don't think it's a
hatred,
root crop. But I wanted to sound clever in front of Poppy.
though. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
In doing some research, I have found that there is some argument on whether onions are root vegetables or not. Some people say they are, some don't. My thought on the subject is chill out, sit back and just enjoy chewing on those sweet fine juicy onion do, juicy onion do, juicy onion do, juicy onion do. Gossip number 11.
Now, this is from Eddie. So I heard from a guy that people are accusing him of theft. What kind, I hear you ask? Outboard motors. In the winter in North Finland, the guy denies it and is pretty pissed off about it.
God, this
This is so basic, I like it. Just literally tell us what's going on in this town. Pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But I heard from another guy, who I think is pretty reliable, that the gossip is actually true. Wouldn't elaborate more when I asked him, so I think there's something in it. I have no idea where the motors would be stored. It's not your problem, mate. So he could be nicking them without no one having...
Don't worry about it, mate.
With no one having any
No.
concrete evidence. Everything is frozen over. So the evidence won't be. So the evidence won't be at the lake or river. So it's probably in a garage or somewhere like that.
It's so boring.
It's so boring. It's brilliant. Oh. I think that's my favourite. Really wants to know where they're being kept. Oh, God. Oh, that's brilliant.
Where was he from as well?
North Finland.
Finland. Oh, God.
Oh, that's so dull. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Genuinely no idea what that bloke was going on about. Outboard motors and Finland. Something like that. Jesus H. Christ. What a rumour. Joe, Poppy and David will now choose their favourite rumour.
Okay, so we need to decide what
Yeah.
rumour Poppy's going to spread for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I've narrowed it down to 5. I think could be contenders. Dressed up as mum to take you for a day trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Birdboy.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Shag's dogs makes a bit of money on the side.
Yeah.
The new low, poo finger.
Yeah.
The new low.
And
You're going to get loads of those sent in if you put that in the top 5. Fucking hell.
and Finland outdoor motor theft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are my
Yeah.
5. So what would you go for, Poppy?
Shall we go for Birdboy? Do you reckon?
I
What do you
think I like Birdboy.
Yeah,
I quite like
kind of want to
Birdboy.
hear you shout poo finger out the window, but
Yeah.
I think Birdboy is my favourite.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Birdboy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to?
All right. Can you get up and open the window and spread the rumour around the
Okay.
town by just shouting out to everyone? That's
Just
it.
got to remember.
I love the hesitation. But really loud.
Shrill little voice
Yeah.
down out the window.
You got their attention. Go on. Here we go.
So, people walking down the street, look up, there's a little lad in the window. Someone calls the fire engine, comes round. Oh no, it's on fire.
That's why they called the fire brigade. Don't just do it if it's not on fire.
They go up the stairs,
Yeah.
go in,
Yeah.
birdseed,
Yeah.
mirrors, bells.
The basic.
Just saying words.
Yeah.
It's a giant bird cage.
Yeah.
It's been on fire. So there's little perches that are enough weight for a teenager to sit on it. That's it. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's got a clue what you're talking about. I'll be honest with
Was it right in any
they're
way?
just getting on
I
with
can't
that.
remember. Was it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you.
you
Yeah, you
absolutely nailed it.
put all the detail in totally the wrong order, but apart from that. Call the fire brigade,
Perches and teenager, you know.
bells.
I was imagining it. Did
Yeah.
you see me I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the whole room.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh well. Right.
That'll do, won't it?
Should we go?
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you would like to